17 years before the mother passed on. Right now, the project is under the management of Angela Sheldrick. And so we are taking care of orphan baby elephants and orphan baby rhinos, and later on, reintroducing them back into the wild. And that is why all the babies so you're going to see here today are orphans, and all have been rescued from different parts of the country, and they have different reasons for being orphans. Some of them, we know exactly what has caused them to be left orphans. That is why we rescue them. Others, we are really not very sure. But since others were found when they are still at a very young age, at an age where they would not have survived without the mother's milk, and also without protection against other dangers. That is why we had to come in and help rescue them. A young elephant will need the mother's milk for the first 2 years minimum. And this means if they happen to lose the mothers and they're below 2, they will not survive. They can easily starve to death, or can be attacked by the lions and the hyenas and be killed. And so that is the reason why we have to come in, so that we can help rescue them and raise them here in the nursery for approximately 3 years. Anytime after the age of 3, we will start to reintroduce all the elephants back into the wild. We necessarily don't take them where we found them, but we'll always reintroduce them to Savo East National Park and Kibwezi Forest. And so we've got 3 stations based with our keepers. We lead the elephants out in the park every day, setting them free, so that they can interact with different groups of wild elephants and communicate and make friends. And late in the evening, all our orphans will be directed to our base where they all spend the night. But after a long period of interaction and communication with different groups of wild elephants, the relationship between our orphans and the wild elephants becomes a strong bond, which means our orphans will be invited and adopted in different groups of wild elephants. And once they all get adopted, they will be trained by the wild elephants on how to stay back into the wild naturally. They'll be protected against all other dangers out in the wild by the wild elephants. They'll also be warned against human beings by the wild elephants, which means all the orphans that you can see here now at some point will have become as wild as in the elephant out there. This process of reintroducing them back into the wild takes quite a long time before it fully happens. It takes a minimum of about 5 years before they start to make friends among the wild herds. And it takes this long period because it depends on the different characters of different elephants. It depends on the reasons that have caused them to be left orphans. It also depends on their age when they became orphans. It also depends on the fact that the elephants will always stay in groups and families. And that is why strangers are not just invited anyhowly in a herd of wild elephants. And that is why our keepers have to stay with them until the time they will be adopted. And once they all get adopted, then we can successfully say we've achieved our target. Our main target here is to rescue them since they've been found orphans, and raise them, and later on reintroducing them back into the wild. And this means if a young elephant comes to the nursery, this young elephant will stay with us for a minimum of between 8 to 10 years before they start to become wild. Right now, we have a total of 17 elephants in the nursery. You're going to see 16 out of the 17. One elephant will not come down for this public viewing. The one elephant not coming down is called Lugard. He is approximately over 3 years old. He was rescued from Sava Conservation Area near the Lugard Falls. He was found with a bad injury in the knee and is limping. So we don't want to disturb him, walking him up and down, coming to this session. and that's why he won't be joining us. The other 16 elephants will come down into groups, and that's why right now we've got a group of 7 elephants. In a few minutes from now, all the 7 will walk away so that we can get in another group of 9, slightly older than this group that we've got now. They all have names, and we've named them after the place that we've rescued them, for reasons that have caused them to be left orphans, and that's how we can easily tell them apart. And I will mention the names one by one. I will start with the elephant rolling down in the mud. His name is Maktau. He's approximately 2.5 years old. He was rescued from Sava Conservation Area near a place called Maktau. He was found in a community all alone, while at the age of about 3 months. And nobody knows exactly the whereabouts of the mother and the rest of the family members. And so, being found in a community suspects that he might have been separated from his family by human beings. And so he's a victim of human-wildlife conflict. Standing next to Maktau is an elephant by the name Laro, approximately 1.5 years old, having been rescued from the Masai Mara or Laro Conservancy, identified alone within the park, suspected to have been separated from her family by human beings. So she's a victim of human-wildlife conflict. Directly behind Laro is the biggest in size in this group of 7, an elephant by the name Kiasa, 2.5 years old. And Kiasa was rescued from Sava Conservation Area near a place called Kiasa. She is a drought victim. Her mother is believed to have died from starvation due to drought, and that's why she was left alone at about 8 months. Right now, approximately 2.5 years old, and so far doing all right in the nursery. When she came in the nursery, she's always been known as the naughtiest elephant around, until the arrival of an elephant by the name Roho, which is about 4 months ago. That is when all the bad character changed, and Kiasa now became a mother figure. She's very protective of the young ones and showing out her maternal instincts, and that's why she's currently the little mini matriarch of this group of 7 elephants. Next to Kiasa, the small one, happens to be the youngest and the latest arrival that we've got in the nursery, an elephant by the name Naleku, approximately 8 months old, having been in the nursery for 1.5 months now, having been rescued from the Masai Mara, rescued after the mother was found dead from a nitro disease. The baby found in the company of an auntie who was taking care of her but not providing milk, which means this baby would in the long run starve to death. And that's why a decision was made to rescue her. Right now, she's approximately 8 months, and so far doing all right in the nursery at the moment. Second smallest in size at the end is an elephant by the name Roho, who is approximately 1 year old, who's been with us for about 4 months now, who changed Kiasa's character. And Roho was rescued from Sava West National Park. The mother is believed to have been killed by poachers, and that's why he was left alone, approximately 1 year old at the moment. In front of Roho is an elephant by the name Mukoka feeding on the branches, walking towards the water hole, 2 years old approximately. And Mukoka was rescued from northern part of Savo East National Park, a place called Idumba, identified by aerial surveillance on patrol, who found the baby all alone within the park, observed him for some time, hoping for the mother to come back and collect the baby, but none existed, which meant that he was an orphan. And that is the reason why a decision was made to rescue him. He was about 7 months old by then, right now approximately 2 years old. The last one at the far end on my right, walking towards the water trough on my right, is an elephant by the name Ziwadi, who is approximately 2 years old. And Ziwadi was rescued from the Masai Mara, She was identified all alone within the park, without the mother and without the rest of the family members, and nobody knows exactly what happened to the mother. But when she came in, she's always been going on the opposite direction from the others or being left behind. And so we suspected that she might have been abandoned or left behind by the rest of the family members because of the way she's behaving. Later on, we discovered that she's epileptic, and sometimes she goes into seizures. Once that happens, she's left behind. And that's why we suspect those might have been the reasons why she was left behind by the rest of the family members. She's on medication. There has been a steady improvement. We expect she'll be back to normal by the time she'll be ready to go back into the world. Approximately 2 years old now. That makes a total of 7 elephants. And in a few minutes from now, all the 7 will walk away so that we can get in another group of 9, slightly older than this group that we've got now. Generally, different reasons have caused all these babies to be left orphans, and human-wildlife conflict is one of the major reasons that has caused most of these babies to be left orphans. And human-wildlife conflict is a big problem in our country. This is a problem because there is always an increase in the population of man or human beings compared to the space or size of land. And this has caused human beings to occupy areas that belong to wild animals. That is why areas where these animals have known originally to browse and look for water have been occupied by migratory routes of wild animals no longer exist. They have been occupied by farmers. And people are doing farming, building structures, and doing lots of developments in these areas. And that is why if these animals want to migrate from one area to another, they will find it very difficult. And they'll find it difficult because they'll encounter the crops and the structures. And the owners of these crops and structures will want to fight the animals away. In that process of the fight, sometimes the mothers will end up being killed and the babies left alone. And sometimes the babies will be separated from the rest of the family members and left alone, while at an age where they cannot survive without the mother's milk and also without protection against other dangers. And that is why, if identified, we are conducted and have to fly out immediately to go and help rescue them from wherever part of the country that they will have been identified. And that is why human-wildlife conflict is one of the major reasons that has caused most of these babies to be left orphans and therefore brought here in the nursery. Ivory poaching is another reason that has caused some of them to be left orphans. And ivory poaching is a problem in our country and in the whole of Africa as well. You might have realized that some of them have come in because the mothers have been killed and the tusks have been taken off from them. It is unfortunate that ivory poaching is still taking place. And I want to say it's unfortunate because it's being perfected by we human beings. And